Did you press record?
Hi, welcome to Effectively Flawless. I'm your host, CP, joined by Jack Hunter.
G'day. Did you press record?
I think so.
I don't think you did. I actually don't think you did.
I'm pretty sure I did because I pressed record and then moved the camera.
Hi, welcome to Effectively Flawless.
So we've been gone for a little bit.
Government mandated podcasting break.
It's been rough out there. Yeah, so I guess we had a pretty busy Christmas.
We had a very busy Christmas.
Okay, so when was the last time we actually recorded an episode? What was the last release date? Because we were going to do a Christmas episode.
We were going to do a Christmas special. I have a feeling November was the last time anyone would have seen or heard from us.
Let's see what
online.
Our YouTube page. Also, we changed the name of the show. 1 month ago was 5th of December was the last release date. There was an episode recorded to come out the following week.
It was just pretty bad.
That was the week that like pretty much all of the pre-Christmas sales started.
Yes.
And we both work retail. You work for like one of the biggest tech retailers in Australia, and I work for one of the biggest
the smallest specialty tech stores.
Hey, I'll have you know, we are the largest photography specialist sales group in Australia.
What does that even mean?
I don't know, man. That's what our hold music says it. If our hold music says it, it must be true.
I'm pretty sure our hold music doesn't work.
Our hold music at Camera House, it's like...
Oh, you actually have music. Most companies just have someone talking.
No, it's like, all around the world, people say, smile, Camera House can show you how. Camera House is Australia's largest photographic retailer. Okay. Yeah. It's pretty catchy. Mm-hmm. It's not. Anyway, so yeah, we kind of disappeared. I don't know how personal you want to get into your personal life with strangers on the internet, but it was not a fun 2 months for Courtney.
It wasn't a fun 2 months for either of us, but we're back, and we have decided that both of us are just effectively flawless.
Yeah.
And that it's everybody else that is the problem.
Yeah, there is no way in the world that we could possibly be an issue.
No, there's not. So...
This is pretty much the exact phone call we had last week.
I think it was about 2 weeks ago now.
Yeah. I was a little bit inebriated, and we were just chatting about life. And I was
very sober.
I was like, see episode 1.
Yeah.
And I just sort of said to Courtney, I'm sick of me being the problem. I think... at some point, everyone else just becomes the problem. And then Courtney said, effectively, I think we're flawless. I think so.
Yeah. Everything around us is just a problem. This intro effectively isn't very flawless. I don't think we...
Okay, let's catch up a little.
Let's break it down. Okay. So where are we?
Laziest moment over the last 2 months. Give that to me.
My laziest moment over the last 2 months?
Yeah.
There were days that I just laid on not even on my couch, just on my lounge room floor eating icy poles all day. Like, from Woolies, the $3 box of like 24 icy poles. I can specifically remember about 2 or 3 different occasions where I spent 8 hours laying on my lounge room floor just doing absolutely nothing.
Done that thing in like puberty blues where they're like holding the icy poles over their head waiting for it to melt into their mouth, and then like once it starts melting, it's just like a constant stream?
No, I chew on the icy poles.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
I'm like same with Chopper Chops and everything. It's not a prolonged experience. Just get it over and done with.
No, I don't think I could suck a Chopper Chop. Like, no. My sister, she used to be able to. Well, I guess she still can, but she like used to get a chocolate Freddo Frog and just sit there sucking it.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, she didn't bite into it.
I hate that.
It would take her like an hour to eat a Freddo Frog. It was ridiculous.
Poor form. I could eat the whole bag in that amount of time.
Okay, for me, for the entire month of January, I did not have a doona cover on my bed.
Okay. Really?
Yeah.
So you just...
Yep. I just put a doona cover on my bed today.
Okay. Was that because I was coming over and you knew I would judge that decision?
No, I was just like, I should get my life together.
Yeah, it's okay. So we're getting back on track is what you're saying.
Yeah, so I think without the podcast, we both just kind of fell off.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
The podcast was something that forced me to actualize that another week had passed. And it forced me to actually sit down and reflect on my week so that I had something to bring to the podcast and talk about.
So we got new chairs.
We got new chairs.
Yeah, very exciting. We also didn't prepare any content, and we got rid of the desk.
Yes. I think a few of those things are extremely obvious. One, the desk is not in the shot, so it's obvious we got rid of the desk.
Yeah.
Two, it's pretty obvious we didn't prepare any content today.
But yeah, I think the vibe of sitting in these chairs is a bit more.
It's very conversational.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying I think this is more us, more laxed. The desk was very professional, and we're not professional.
We felt like TV presenters.
Which obviously one day I would hope that could be a reality for us, but right now,
yeah,
we're 22 and stupid.
Yeah. Speaking of 22, I got hit on in the supermarket today by a man.
Oh, the shopping center, yeah.
Oh yeah, why did I say supermarket?
Because anyway.
So it happened so fast. I don't even remember can you explain to me what happened? Because I don't think I was there.
I don't think you were there either. I think for me, this was an out-of-body experience. I almost feel like I was how you felt, but I was more present in the situation. I was your out-of-body experience in this. We'd, in the venture to get our chairs today, we'd already been to, shopping centers are a bad time for us.
Oh, yeah.
Every time.
Every time.
So we'd already been to one shopping center to get these chairs that we'd spoken about too many times before. And when we finally did not get the chairs, we spoke to a staff member who was able to locate them at another shopping center. So we went to a different shopping center to go and get these chairs. As we were walking in, I was probably telling a story and Jack was probably not paying attention. And we walked past this, I think it was a charity sort of collection point in the middle of the shopping center, but one of those people that, makes sales by just walking up to you and interrupting you when you're at the,
Yeah, I thought he was trying to tell me something.
So was I.
Yeah.
Like, I thought he was going to sell you something. I'm like, oh, we're going to have to do the really awkward, like, no, thank you. And then they've roped us in because we spoke to them, or completely ignore them.
Yeah.
Which feels like a sin, but if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile.
Yeah.
If you say no, thank you, you're already in and you've already signed a contract, and now all of a sudden you're giving $5 a month to whatever cause it is,
and they're impossible to get out of.
They're impossible to get out of. So anyway, the guy comes up to you as if he's pointing at you and says, "What do your tattoos say?"
What? But I think he said, "What does your tattoo say?"
He definitely said, "What does your tattoo say?" And then you said, "Which one?" Which I think was a bit of a power move because you were like, dumbass. But what upset me about this, and we spoke about this later, is you got a tattoo recently that you told me about that you were so excited for someone to ask you a question that you didn't want to answer. What does it say, Jack?
It says, "Don't ask me."
What would have been the perfect response? Let's play this out. Hey, bro, what does your tattoo say? Oh, I'm extremely offended. I'm going to leave you alone now. Bye. End of conversation. Instead, Jack proceeded to read out every single one of his tattoos.
He just kept asking. I was like, which one? He goes, all of them. And I'm like, okay. So I show him the first one, and I'm like, generally when I show the first one, people are like, oh, cool. And then, like, that's it. Like, I would say 99.9% of situations, like, the only people that want to see all of them are, like, friends and family.
Yeah. So then Jack reads out every one of his tattoos, and at this point, I'm thinking...
Let me be clear, I was not reading them out. He was reading.
You guys were reading them together. It was a little bit of a moment for you guys. Like,
yeah, like, I just showed him and he read it.
Something was unfolding, and I was just standing there watching it.
Yeah.
And I thought... The only thoughts going through my head are, great, Jack's been robbed into a pyramid scheme. Like, we're not going to be able to get out of it. The podcast is cancelled. Jack's already on a plane to the middle of nowhere. I don't know where. I've lost Jack to he's already signed up. He's already wearing a uniform for whatever company they're promoting. So I'm thinking, do I even get the chairs? I've lost my co-host. Do I find another one? Is Regan going to want to be on the podcast? And the conversation finally starts to wrap up and the guy goes, oh, how old are you, by the way? Which I was like, okay, cool. At this point, he's filling out his forms to sign Jack up to this company. And Jack goes, oh, I'm 23. Which is also a lie. I don't know why you said you're 23.
I don't know. I panicked and I was like 23.
Because you're definitely 22. And the guy goes, oh, you're not old enough anyway. Get out of here.
No, but he was like, you're not old enough for me. Like, it was like a flirtatious. Like,
I thought it was whatever the age limit was required to whatever they were signing people up for. Because I didn't actually even read it. It was so like, I was so tunnel vision to getting to the store that we were trying to go to. I didn't even read what the store was about.
No, I don't even know either. And we walked past it on the way back.
Yeah.
And I didn't read it because I was too scared.
I tried to look busy when we were walking back because I didn't want to say.
I mean, to be fair, we were carrying fucking 12 kilogram like chairs this big.
Through the shopping centre. I dropped mine like 2 times.
Anyway, the worst part about it was he went for a fucking elbow bump at the end. I was like, thanks, man.
Sorry, bro. You're too young for me anyway. Is it a chicken?
It's the neighbor's dog. I wonder if you can hear that in the audio.
You know that video of Kris Jenner? She's like, can we get Kylie Jenner to the foyer, please? And she's holding this like pig, and Kylie comes down. Is that a chicken?
I do know now that you mentioned it. Mm-hmm. Oh. Nothing wrong with the Kardashians.
Nothing wrong with the Kardashians at all. Completely unproblematic and one of my favorite sources of entertainment.
Yeah. So Kanye is a bit. Did you hear his saying that Pete Davidson is gay and has AIDS?
Oh yeah.
It sounds legit.
Sounds legit.
And he's got like those eyes.
Isn't Pete Davidson with Davidson with Kim Kardashian now?
Yeah, that's why he's saying it.
Anyway, how about that Kanye weather though?
I'm sorry.
I has to look. I'm sorry.
That was a joke that we were going to talk about on the first ever episode. And then we're like, maybe Kanye is too controversial. And we never spoke about that joke.
We never spoke about it.
It's a good joke. It's not really like a joke. Like we're not performing.
Not yet.
Anyway, it's more of just like a bit that we do that no one else finds funny. But like when you do something and the other person's annoyed at you, you say like, I'm sorry. Like in what song is it?
It's one from the whatever album covers Purple. It's from that one.
Graduation. Yeah. Yeah, it's from Graduation.
It's from Graduation. I just don't know what song it is now.
I don't remember.
Anyway, we digress. It's the song where he says,
she got that ass. I have to look. I'm sorry.
This episode has no structure. And I'm here for it. It's just a conversation.
I think it's going well.
So what did we speak about in our last episode that actually aired? Because our last reel or TikTok rather.
Damn it! I was hoping to look at the description of the video, to find out what was covered in the video.
I don't know, bro. Watch the video. So I do know. For anyone that doesn't know, and for anyone that actually gives a shit, which I assume is no one, I handled the social media side of the show, and Jack handles the rest of the show, so the editing of the show and the actual formal show that's put together. My attention span doesn't last that long, so I handle the shorter sides of things. Our last TikTok, blew up more than any other thing that we've had, and by blow up, I think 7,000 views it's currently sitting on, which is all right. It's all right for us. It also got the most amount of viewer interaction.
Yeah.
And by viewer interaction, we mean purely hate comments.
We got 3 comments, all being sexist towards Courtney.
3 hate comments, and all of them were directed towards me.
So, because basically, like the dialogue was, you apologized for
Can we reenact it? I feel the need to apologize for
I now have the power in this relationship.
that. No, you don't.
I am the alpha male.
That's just not true.
Which is pretty good. I haven't watched it since it came out, but I can seem to remember it okay.
I only know it because it's that audio, the first, you know when you edit a video a lot, and you tend to watch the first, whether it be 10 or 20 seconds, a million times. The rest of the video, none of it sticks, but it's just that I can say almost to the... I feel the need to apologize for how unreliable I've been during this project. I now have the power in this relationship.
Yeah. Anyway, people were saying that Courtney I should not be letting Courtney have power in the relationship. There was one that said, "Just leave, bro."
Just leave her, bro. So I think what people understood that to mean was Jack and I were in a relationship that's more than just co-hosts on a podcast. And that Jack, for some reason, is better than me and should leave me. So I feel like, Jack, at some point today, you should say something controversial that I can cut down so that you get more hate comments than I do.
Well, now I want to find the big comment that was like, what the... how did you come up with that? Because I'd leave, man. Ain't no way I'm letting a girl tell me she's the alpha. To which I replied, imagine commenting something sexist on a comedy podcast post. Red flag.
How about that fragile masculinity, though?
Men hate women.
Men hate women.
That's what you get for not having a penis.
I have a penis.
That was the wrong button.
I have a penis.
So the other day, this was probably 2 weeks ago. There's like a JB Hi-Fi in the center I work in. And like I go in there sometimes, and the guy, like, I don't know why, he's just so friendly to me, and he, like, every time he sees me outside of the shop, he says hi to me. And like he gives me good prices in the store. And I'm like, oh, that's really nice. You know, like I've made a friend. And so I go to the bathroom, and this is going to be a reoccurring segment. I think I'm just going to call Toilet Time, because I have a lot of opinions on toilets.
Yep.
And I think we need to be funnier, and I think toilet related humor might be the way to go.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, how acceptable do you think it is to talk to someone inside a toilet?
See, I feel like for men this may be more of an issue than it would be for women.
Yeah, sure.
But at the same time, if I go... It depends on who else is in the bathroom. Like, if I go to a bathroom and someone else, like with someone else, but there's no one else in there, then we'll continue to talk, especially if alcoholic beverages are being consumed.
Yeah,
then
definitely.
All rules go out the window.
All right, so let me paint you a picture.
Right.
So I've used the cubicle, I've flushed the toilet, I've come out to wash my hands, and as I'm opening the door, I see my friend at the JB Hi-Fi drying his hands.
Yeah.
And I say, and you know, obviously the dryer's a little bit loud, and I say, "Hey man." And like he looks over his shoulder, but I'm like over his left shoulder. He doesn't see me, and he looks really confused and walks out the door. And I felt very embarrassed.
Oh no.
Because I was like, "Hey man, how you doing?" And he just did not know where that came from, and just assumed it wasn't anyone.
Yeah, wasn't for him.
Yeah, speaking to him. So that was really uncomfortable, and I haven't seen him since.
So that's your story. I've got one that I didn't think I was going to bring up, but when you said last week, I thought you were talking about something else.
Oh, is this? I don't know. Go ahead.
It's related. It's sort of related to you, but it's more... I don't think you realize the pain that I went through for you. So the other day, you FaceTimed me.
Why do so many of our stories start with
the other
day?
You FaceTime me saying that you shaved off half your eyebrow. No, the other day you FaceTime called me when I was at the supermarket and asked for...
A rat.
A rat.
All right.
Rapid antigen test.
Rapid antigen.
I did not have a rapid antigen test. Or is a lie, I did have one, but I didn't realize that I had it. So I thought that I didn't have a possession of any rat tests, which are like it's almost like a currency in Australia at the moment.
Yeah.
They're so hard to get your hands on that people will trade them for goods and services, like money. I was at the supermarket when you called me for a rat test.
Yeah.
And at this point, I'd already been up since about 5 or 6 o'clock that morning, because obviously I'm doing a lot of training for like my jiu-jitsu tournament coming up soon. I'd worked a 10-hour shift.
Granted, you were also at the supermarket that was local to me, but your home is 10 kilometers in the opposite direction.
Correct. So I decided to go to this supermarket because I was coming home late from work. I knew that this supermarket was one of those Coles that stay open just a little bit later than the average one. I don't want to be stuffed around. I don't want to, get to the supermarket and realize that they're closed.
Yeah.
Anyway, you asked me for a rat test. I go, okay, I'll ask if they have any here at the Coles. There's posters everywhere saying there's stock constraints on rat tests. I know there's no chance in hell I'm getting a rat test here. But I walk up to the lady anyway, and she's just ready to sell me some cigarettes. Because obviously Coles is like the service desk. It's for cigarettes. It's not for anything else. I go, do you have any rat tests? She goes, nah, darling, we don't. No, we don't. Oh, okay, cool, whatever. I call you back. Jack, there's no rat test, but I did hear at the chemist today that they had some. And you're like, oh, cool, go get me one. I've got frozen groceries in my car. Like, at this point. Googling, like...
You should have just been like, no.
It's so funny? The whole time I was driving there, I was like, fuck, I should have said no.
You could have literally just been like, oh, yeah, sorry, couldn't get one.
Because now, I thought about it. But I was like, no, because I've said that I'm doing it, so now I'm going to do it. But then at the same time, because I thought for a split second that I could just tell you that I couldn't find one, I thought that maybe you wouldn't believe that I'd actually gone to the chemist to go get one. So I was going to take a photo of myself at the chemist to prove that I was at the chemist. Because I knew in my heart that I had the capacity to be a liar. And anyway, I get to, at this point, keep in mind, torrential rain happening that night.
Yeah.
Serious winds. My car was already on death row. Like, my car's just not having it at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, that's the reason I couldn't go get one.
Because you don't have a car
at the moment.
I get to the chemist and I go to pull in to this 24-hour chemist, which has only got a really small car park in it. And someone starts pulling out of the car park at the same time. But it was the entrance. So I was nose to nose with this other car, just sitting there thinking this guy has to back up because this is an entrance. 2 minutes I sat there. I started flashing my lights at him to be like, this is an entrance. You need to move. Doesn't move. So I had to back out of the entrance. 3 cars behind me have to then back up to make way for this other guy.
What the fuck?
To get out of the car park. Again, torrential rain. I can hardly see where I'm going. It gets to the point that I then take my Suzuki and just drive over the nature strip and around the bushes, because I can't get out. I can't get out. I can't drive on the road. So then I drive up to the other end and I just drive in the exit at this point because that clusterfuck that was going on earlier in the car park is still there. I drive in the exit.
Why couldn't he reverse out?
I don't know. He just sat there. So I drive in the exit. And at this point, I park my car, I get out, and I realize I'm not parked in a park. I'm just parked in the middle of the road. This car park snaked through it went like this. So it went so entrance, snaked around, and then exit. So I had just parked on the end of that road, but that turned out to be the road that wrapped around that continued to...
Yeah.
So I had to move my car. So I moved my car. I go further up the car park and just completely mount the gutter and scrape the side of my tires because I just couldn't, I couldn't see anything that was going on. Whatever. I leave my car there half mounted on the gutter, scratching against my rims. I don't care at this point. The car's got to go. I'm due for a new one anyway. I try to get into the chemist, but you can't just walk into the 24-hour chemist. You have to ring the doorbell and then you have to tell them what you want.
Yeah.
And then you get to walk in. So I ring the doorbell and I say, hey, I'm just after a rapid test for COVID. They go, no worries, we've got some inside. Beautiful. Gonna go deliver one to my friend. Keep in mind at this point, covered in rain, like water rather, because I'd already gotten in and out of my car like 6 times.
Yeah.
Soaking wet. Walk up to the counter, nearly slipped over in the store because my shoes were all wet. Finally got to the counter and the guy said, no, you can't have any rat tests. And then I went home.
I did get one the next morning from my brother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you were fucking negative. You didn't even have COVID.
Well, I've got four in my kitchen. So if you need one at some point.
Thanks, Jack. I really appreciate that.
Yeah. I mean, if I don't have any, though, I'm not driving to get you one.
No, I know you're not. I know you're not.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that you should have just told me to go fuck myself.
And yet I didn't.
I think you're probably a better friend than I am.
I actually think that to be true. I agree with that statement. We both got so distracted by that notification coming up on your computer then.
Look, to be honest though, like I think we're both shit friends and it really just cancels each other out.
I think it is. I think there's a lot of things that I do or rather don't do with you that I don't feel that bad for, because then I just, in my mind, I do the calculations. I'm like, yeah, but then Jack did this a few days ago, and then it just sort of balances out. Like, I'm like, oh shit, Jack called me earlier and I just ignored it. But then I'll look and I would have texted you 5 days prior to that and you didn't say anything. So
yeah. That's okay. You're the only person I don't reply to because you never fucking reply to me.
No hard feelings, all right?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like we've, because we spent a lot of time apart during
whatever happened in December and January.
Month and a half.
We were both dealing with our own stuff.
Yeah, it was pretty full on. But I was thinking about it. Like, I think we've forgotten how to talk to each other. Like, usually we don't shut up when we're in the car together, and we've had so many just moments where we've just sat in complete silence, and I'm like, it's like I'm in the car with my dad. Like,
was that today?
Yeah, and like the last time we caught up as well.
I can't even remember the last time we caught up. Today I was fine. Today I couldn't even tell you if we were in silence together. I was just listening to Mac Miller and being absolutely chill.
Yeah, maybe that's why we were quiet. We were just fucking depressed from listening to Mac.
True. We're both going through a real Mac Miller phase at the moment too. Yeah. When was the last time we caught up before that?
It was recently.
It was recently. I can't remember why and what for though. Oh, we went out for Indian food recently.
That's right, yeah.
I was already
Were
exhausted.
we gonna record or?
No, we were going to go to the movies.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
I had gold class vouchers.
Oh, we should still go to that.
Yeah. They're sitting next to you.
Anyway.
Yeah. Speaking of you being a shit friend.
Mm-hmm.
How many days ago did I give you your Christmas present?
But I promise you that when I give you yours, because I still have it and I forgot it. I also forgot to bring your jumper that you left at my house last time you were at my house. And I forgot to send you a photo of the camera that you bought me, because you got me a camera for Christmas.
Yeah.
And I really liked it. And you asked me the other day to send you a photo of it so that you knew what model it was. And I just never did it.
Yeah, that's
But okay. I promise you when I give you your Christmas present that you'll like it.
I just thought I'd tease you.
I thought about it when I was driving to your house this morning.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going to turn around.
I was going to message you before you left, like, bring my Christmas present. But I was like, that sounds so childish.
It's like my 10-year-old brother would say that.
I was so tempted because I was like, you know, that would be a good way to get a hold of my Christmas present.
Don't forget my Christmas present.
Yeah, I was at your house, like, recently, and I could have just been like, hey, give me my Christmas present.
I probably would have said no.
Yeah. He's like, just because you asked, no.
Just because you asked, no.
Yeah, well, do we have anything else to cover today?
No, I feel like we should summarize though. So in summary, this podcast is no longer called Kettle of Fish. It is now called Effectively Flawless, or
secretly, so I guess like the whole reason Kettle of Fish came about was our year 12 media lecturer teacher
yeah,
used to say that's a whole nother kettle of fish all the time.
Which would usually be prompted by us asking a question or bringing up a topic that had absolutely nothing to do with the point that she was trying to
just
convey.
to get out of doing actual classwork.
Correct.
And so we kind of liked it. And as time passed, we were getting ready to actually start the show, and there was another show called Kettle of Fish, and that kind of really like blew our motivation because it was like 2 days before we were supposed to launch.
Yeah, so we'd been talking about doing our podcast for
like since July.
Yeah, for about 6 months even before we started. But the lockdowns and everything that were in place in Victoria prevented us from being able to go to each other's houses and actually film it. We could only go for walks in open spaces and discuss the ideas of it. So we spoke about it for a long time, and when it came around to actually doing it, like you said, days before, someone had come up with the same thing, even though we'd been talking about it for 6 months, which just felt
like the day their podcast was released was like 4 months after we commissioned the design.
Yeah.
Because we commissioned the design a long time before we...
Yeah, we did, and we had all the reviews for it and stuff like that as well. So we were working on that for ages. But I feel like Effectively Flawless, we've looked it up. Absolutely no one's got that name.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of our branding still goes by CP and Jack. Like that's still primarily...
Well, it's just Effectively Flawless with CP and Jack.
Or CP and Jack are Effectively Flawless.
Oh, I like that. That's good. That's good. Yeah.
But yeah, so our show's name is Effectively Flawless, but as a duo, if you will, we'll still go by CP and Jack on all our social media pages.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we changed the name of the podcast. We disappeared accidentally for 2 months. We actually spoke about scheduling a break over Christmas and New Year's, and we didn't even do that. We just stopped speaking about the podcast and we just pretended it didn't exist for a little bit.
Like I think we're gonna take like a 2-week break just because like obviously just after Christmas working retail, it
takes it out of you. It really does.
It's like the most intense time of the year. You're usually doing more than your 38 hours a week.
Yeah.
And like and it was just also not great timing for me though. Like my car's broken down at the moment. And so, like, I wasn't actually able to, like, get anywhere. So, like, my weeks were, like, 70-hour weeks by the time I counted for public transport. That's an exaggeration, but...
No, yeah, but it definitely took you a long time to sort all that out. And then I was just being an emotional wreck for January, so that cancelled out. You ruined December, I ruined January.
Yeah.
But we're back.
It's Hot Girl February.
It's Hot Girl February, which is still summer.
Yeah.
We are Effectively Flawless. And thank you so much for tuning in.